Hello everyone to the Jewish Week Online. I'm your host, Aaron Herman. We're here with Yaakov Kirschen of Dry Bones to learn about his new innovative Haggadah. Let's take a closer look. When you think of a Haggadah, sometimes you just want the pages to keep on turning. And with your Haggadah, it's an enjoyable experience in trying to connect to different ages, bring humor, and be a little bit different. So talk a little bit about bringing this new Haggadah to market.
Well, first of all, I've been doing the Dry Bones cartoons since January 1st, 1973. That means that 2013 was the 40th anniversary of doing a cartoon that commented on the news of the day. After 40 years, I realized that I would like to speak to Jews, not just to us now, but to generations to come. And the only way to do that was to do a commentary not on the news of the day, but a commentary for the people sitting around the Haggadah. And we know who they are. Some of them are wise, some of them are wicked, some of them are simple, and some are just waiting, saying, when do we eat? Okay? And they're all there. It's one event that really links all Jews together. And that for me was, I think, an opportunity to be able to speak to people in our voice, the voice of today. Normally in a Haggadah you have like old woodcuts and we look at the old days. Really quickly we're going to be the old days. And I want my grandchildren, when they are running their seders, to be able to have a Haggadah that does talk about the old days, but talks about us, our view. And in order to do that, I had to sit down and go through the Haggadah and do a commentary on every page the way I do a commentary on the page of a newspaper.
How long did it take you to actually, whenever you go through a creative process, it only takes time. So how long did it take you to go through this?
It took exactly 1 year. And I frankly was really shocked. I thought it would be a 2-month job. I thought I'd go get a standard translation and then draw some cartoons. That's when I found out that there is no standard translation. Everybody translates according to their view of what it really means, rather than simply translating what's there. So I began a process of sitting with rabbis from different streams and arguing and had to translate the whole thing. Okay? And at the same time, I then realized that people know that an editorial cartoon is an editorial cartoon and that it comments on the newspaper. Question is, how do you put a cartoon into a Haggadah where people will realize it's a commentary? So I took the idea of the Talmud, where every page of the Talmud you have a text, and then you have Rashi and Mashmo and everybody. The text is framed by the commentary. So after translating the thing, I then created a commentary frame. So the cartoons are political, social commentary on the Haggadah, designed to be read by those 4 types of people who are at the table.
Do you have a favorite part of your Haggadah?
No, I don't. And it's very strange because each page spread became like a work of art. And my wife, who is a really well-known Tel Aviv painter, sat down to adjust the tones of every color so that every page would be coherent. And then our book designer, a wonderful girl named Kim, we had it with a block of English and a block of Hebrew, and a block of English and a block of Hebrew. and we approve the design, and then suddenly she's not delivering, and we're calling up, and what's happening? And that's when she shows us that what she had decided to do was, instead of doing a block of this and a block of that, to basically write every line of Hebrew and it's English, and doing it so that as we sit together and somebody reads their piece in English, the person who comes is going to do Hebrew, they just jump right over to here.
And I know for me, when you're reading the Haggadah, sometimes you get lost very quickly.
Right.
So by having that really in the right format, it makes a difference for the reader to go through it in a more meaningful way. So you're not like, oh wait, wait, here it is, right there.
It's up to you.
Right.
Where are we? Oh, now you start reading the part in Hebrew, and the English people are lost. So we have that innovation, and then we have the cartoons. And I don't want people to think that it's a cartoon Haggadah. It is a Haggadah with cartoon commentary.
And everyone connects to Judaism differently, but through cartoons, it's a little bit different. Meaning that some people are more visual. When you read something, it can be in a meaningful way, but sometimes through imagery, it's sort of the Haggadah can come to life.
That's exactly the word that I wanted for this, that it should make the Haggadah. But too many people, it's either, oh, we're going through, how many pages till we eat? Where's he reading from? What's going on? You get to the meal, then everybody's going to eat. Nobody wants to go back to the table and go through that drudgery. Or people who are so religious that they are intent and going through it, and they're not having the enjoyment of looking at it as a living thing. So the text is totally appropriate for anyone of any level of religiosity, and the cartoons speak to everyone the way Dry Bones cartoons do.
One of the things that sort of has popped out to me is that the colors also. And you're talking about sort of the design. How do you think colors play a part in bringing these cartoons to life?
I think that color is a really interesting way to affect people. Color can be jarring, color can be aggressive. The colors that Sally, long-suffering wife, dealt with this are basically, to me, lovely, strong, but pastel colors that are kind of the things that would be on fine china. So it's not like a newspaper cartoon kind of coloring. It's got subtle purples and subtle blues, and it's...
And that's really important, I think, also, is going back to, when you're going through the Haggadah, it's like, sometimes you need that extra little shock, to be like, oh, this is where we are. But, oh, look, like that color, will enhance the way that you're actually reading and looking at the cartoon and saying, oh, like, this is where I am. Here's the imagery behind that, and the color will help sort of absorb, like advertising. It keeps in your head.
In some places, it's interpreting, right? So if the text is talking about they worship idols, but they have eyes but they see not, and mouths but they speak, right? What a wonderful chance to do a really pretty image of those scary idols. And another point, I've done a translation of Arba Banim, is normally the 4 sons. I've translated as the 4 children, because Banim means sons and daughters, okay? But that is something that maybe is going to stop someone when they read it instead of the 4 sons, right? So there is a cartoon with two kids talking, and one says to the other, Grandpa says in his day, it was not the four children, it was the four sons. And the other one says, oh, in Grandpa's day, there were probably no bad girls. Right? So I don't want anything in this Haggadah to aggressively push someone in one direction or another. I think that at Passover, the time when we all get together has now become a time of separation. That each stream has its own Haggadah and new Haggadahs, and do your own Haggadahs and whatever. That's because people aren't satisfied with the product. Having a Haggadah that teaches you about how to teach your children to carry on the civilization, that's what the Haggadah is. To have it filled with old-timey woodcuts, or words like thee or thou, or, oh my God, we can't do the whole thing, we gotta cut it down to have a 7-minute Haggadah, or we gotta do it in cartoon form, it's gonna be too hard to read. The Haggadah is a delightful, interesting, exciting book, and the cartoons make that obvious. It makes it alive for people. My hope is that this coming Passover, we're all going to sit down and be on the same page with the same Haggadah. That's my dream.
So where can people learn more about your Haggadah?
Well, people can either go to my website, which is drybones.com, or they could go to store.drybones.com, and there they can take a peek at the Haggadah, they can buy it, or order a box of 5 or 10.
As you can see, Haggadahs have transformed over the years, and Dry Bones, the Passover Haggadah, is truly an innovative way to connect to Passover. This is Aaron Herman, and thank you for watching.